Hi.
Okay,
So
so
in this lecture,
let's
I'm
move
going to discuss
on.
about to configure the configuration part. Like last session, what we told uh, the subnet 10.1.1 is inside, 192.168.0 is outside, and 172.16.1 is our DMZ side. So actually, I have changed this here the Cisco switch. Earlier, actually, have been mentioned router, but due to this, the internet connectivity related, so I just changed the switch. I have also added the host. Okay, okay, let's jump into the configuration part. So you can see the show configuration part here. You can see the root authentication and the services. These are the default services already configured on the devices. So you can see there is no any IP address configured on the interfaces. Okay, and the screen we will discuss about this part later on. Uh, okay, so these are the default policies. Okay, so that means from trust zone to trust zone. So everything is by default allowed. So this is the default policies we will get it in the device. Okay, so that will be permit automatically. And here from trust to untrust zone policy. Here actually this is the default policy and it has been matched any source and destination and any application that has been passed. I mean it has been allowed. And from untrust to trust zone. So therefore denying this traffic. Okay, so any source and destination and the denied traffic, and these are the zones. So okay, so these are the default zones actually. We can change it to as per our convenience. Okay, but here these are the default trust and untrust. So I have created one. So we'll create the DMG zone also. Okay, fine. So let me jump into the interface configuration. Okay, so this is so when we want to configure anything, we have to enter configure, and we can also go into configure private also, and we can also do edit. Okay, first doing any configuration changes, we have to set the root password. So once we set the root password, then only the configuration part will be accepted. Okay, so I'm just giving the root passwords. Fine. So sorry, I just want to commit this root password. Okay, say no and commit. That's fine. So compare you can use to see what are all the changes we done recently. Okay, that means minus is showing that um, it is just removing the earlier configuration, and plus is saying that it is adding the new configuration. Okay, so I committed the change. So okay, commit completed. Exit and show. So version. So actually, the SRX is running on this 12.1 x47 D20. Actually, earlier I'll try to configure in the next generation SRX, but due to some issues, I couldn't able to do that. So I'm just also running on this version. So that's the anyway. So in later on sessions we'll see about the next gen. So we again jump into the configuration part, and we'll configure the rest of the things like the interface IPs. So and we have to assign those interfaces to the different zones. Okay, as I told, so we can use edit also to go into the configuration part, and we can even go to the we can use the configure private also. That's fine. Okay, so uncommitted will be discarded. That's fine. Um, Fine. Set interface that is 0 by 0 by 0. So gig 0 by 0 by 0, unit 0, family inet, and address is 10.1.1.1 slash 24. So subnet, and that's fine. Let me configure the other interface. Set interface gig 0 by 0 by 0 by 2 is outside. Okay, so fine. So 0 by 0 we have to configure 192.168. That's fine. So 0 by 0 by 2, unit 0, family inet, address 192.168.11.2. Okay, so that's 24. And the DMZ interface gig 0 by 0 by 1. Yes, that's one. And the subnet is 172.16. That's okay. That's one. Unit 0, family inet, address 172.16.1.1 slash 24. Fine. So we configured the interface IP address. Can see show compare. It will give us the output whatever the commands we added. Can see here this is the gig 0 by 0, and this is gig 0 by 0 by 1, and this is the DMG, and this is the outside interface. That's fine. So commit the change. Yeah, your replace means is we are adding the configuration as I told. So commit complete. Now show, sorry, show. You can see the configuration part. You can see here the interface IP address what we have just added. So you can see 10.1.1 internal, and this is the DMG, and this is the outside interface. That's great. Fine. Okay. Next we'll move on to the switches. So this switch would be okay. The switch is the Cisco running on version Cyber's version. I mean, it's a virtual version, and it is some 15, I guess. Fine. So we'll jump into the configuration part. We'll give the host name as an inside switch. Okay, and so I will give the IP address and VLAN 1, that is a default VLAN. So IP address 10.1.1.2, 255.255.255.0, and no shut. So by default all the interfaces would be under VLAN 1, so no need of changing any interface VLAN configuration part. That's okay. Exit and exit, and that's fine. Next we move on to the outside switch. So I will go on to the configuration part. Host name would be outside switch. Okay, interface, again we will give the IP address on the interface VLAN 1. So IP address 192.168.11.2, 255.255.255.0. Exit, exit, and okay, so let me unshut also here. That's fine. So I have the IP address configured on VLAN 1 showing up, and let me see here, show IP interface brief. You can see here also good. So VLAN 1 protocol status up. That's fine. So interface came up. Now I'll move on to the DMG switch. So enable configure D host name is a DMG switch. Fine. Again we'll configure the IP address on the interface VLAN 1. IP address 172.16.1.2/255.255.4.0. Okay, no chat. That's fine. So IP address on the interface are okay. So VLAN 1 172.16.1 protocol up, status up. That's fine. Good. So I'll move on to the next step. Okay, let me ping. Let me try to ping the interface of the SRX firewall inside interface. So starts pinging. Choose the default behavior because the packets will not be allowed. So we have to set the system services. Okay, we can even try from outside interface to ping the outside interface of the SRX. No, it's not pinging. That's fine. Even we can do the same thing from DNG and we can test it. Okay, here also it is not pinging. That's fine. That's okay. Okay, I'll write save the configuration. That's fine. Okay, let me jump into the SRX and will configure the remaining part. So I can test it from here. Ping inside is pinging and ping outside 192.16.11.1. It's not pinging. Okay, so let me ping the DMG interface IP is pinging. Okay, sorry, okay, DMZ switch interface is not pinging except the inside switch interface, VLAN interface. Okay, let's jump into the remaining part configuration. Let me configure and set okay, edit security zones, trust. I'll interface. Okay, set interface gig 0 by 0 by 0 trust. Okay, I'm just assigning this interface under trust zone. Okay, and I may even allow the host inbound traffic. And the next step, set interface. Okay, okay, fine. So show compare. You can see the configuration part what we had it. Okay, so set security. You can even instead of edit, we can use set command also. So set security zone untrust, and interface GA 0 by 0 by 2. It is our host side interface. That's correct. So it's 2, and that's fine. Set security zone DMG, and interface gig 0 by 0 by 1. That's correct. 0 by 0 by 1. So you can see here. So compare whatever the recent changes. You can see here. You can see, okay, gig 0 by 0 added, and the trust and 0 by 0 untrust. Okay, so GMG zone 0 by 0 by 1. Okay, that's fine. So this is the trust zone interface. Okay, commit. Before that, okay, set security zone trust interface, and gig 0 by 0 0 host inbound traffic system service ping. So we'll allow the ping packets on the SRX interfaces. Okay, so I'll just added the inside interface, and I'm just going to add on the DMG interface as well as the outside interface. Okay, so such security zone untrust interfaces 0 by 0 by 2 uh, host inbound traffic system service and ping. That's fine. Let me add into the same on DMG interface. Set security zone interface. Oh, sorry, DMG, and then interface gig 0 by 0 by 1. Correct. Okay, 1 host inbound traffic system service ping. That's fine. So compare. Okay, we added under the trust zone, and we allowed the ping response on the interface. Also, on the untrust zone, allowed system services ping. That's fine. And the DMG zone, and allow the ping response. That's fine. Let me commit the change. Commit. Okay, let me check if any error is there in the configuration part. Okay, so we have an error saying that the interface already assigned to another zone. So let me check the path. Okay, show. You can see here where exactly the ZI 0 by 0 is assigned on another zone apart from the test zone. Hmm, okay, that's fine. So default allowed and syslog is the default configuration part. On interface gig 0 by 0 we just only added, and coming to down that's fine, fine, fine. Yes, here it is allowed on trust zone. That's fine. Okay, let me go down again. Oh yes, here it is on trust zone allowed on gig 0 by 0. Okay, so let me remove that part. Let me remove from the untouched zone. That's fine. So delete interface, delete security zone, security zone, untrust interface gig 0 by 0 by 0. Okay, commit and check. Okay, this time it will be succeeds. Okay, commit the change. Okay, so let me ping to the okay, let me ping to SRX2 the inside to the outside switch to the DMG switch, and also the vice versa, like from inside switch to SRX and from outside switch to SRX and DMG switch to SRX. The reachability should be there, so we will check that. Let's jump into the SRX. Okay, let me ping 10.1.1.2 is pinging. Let me ping to the outside interface on that. Okay, it's pinging. Let me ping to the DMG interface. Okay, so it's a VLAN interface. Okay, let me, yeah, so this is a VLAN interface and the outside default gateway interface. Okay, ping to the DMG interface, so it is also pinging. That seems good. Okay, let me ping from the inside switch to the SRX interface. It's pinging. Okay, let me ping from outside switch to the outside interface of SRX. Okay, so, oh sorry, it is 11 dot. Okay, it's pinging. That's good. Let me ping from DMG switch to the DMG interface of SRX. That's 1.1. That's pinging. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, so we configured, and you can see the interface configured, host interface and zones assigned, and the reachability is there.